have any tornado reports yesterday. We had a couple of wind reports out of Louisiana and winds gusting over 50 miles per hour in Destin, Florida, but that's really about it. But we still can't let our guard down. We still have Torcon numbers in the threes for Orlando, Tallahassee, and Savannah, Georgia. That basically means a 30% chance we could see tornadoes with this storm system anytime this morning, really all the way through lunchtime today. So definitely have a way to get those warnings either on your phone or keep watching the Weather Channel. Here's a look at the rain that is still spread out across Alabama, Georgia, northern Florida. Light thunder showers being reported in Jacksonville, Florida right now, but no severe warnings are in effect. So that is the good news, right? But we do have some very heavy rain, and we still have lightning to contend with as well. You can see the lightning bolts showing up on the first coast all the way back here just north of Cedar Key as well, north of Gainesville, right there along I-75. That is a wet ride for you. And then we head up into southern Georgia. We see pockets of yellow and orange. That is your heavier rain, but thankfully no warnings with this batch of rain either, at least not for the moment. And then you get north of there into more stable air, but still a couple lightning strikes showing up there near Coleman, Alabama. Birmingham, you've got some showers in your vicinity, and just kind of foggy and murky in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Visibility down to a half a mile. So keep that in mind if you have any travel plans today. All right, let's put this radar into future mode, and you can see the showers making progress over toward the east as we go through 10 o'clock this morning. We stop it there. Look at the heavy rain right over the fires in eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. That is a good thing, but be careful. There could be some flash flooding and some mudslides because of the lack of vegetation in some of those burn scar areas. All right, we've got pandas at the Atlanta Zoo, by the way. Love to go watch them. They're so playful, and I love to watch them eat those bamboo sticks. They're so cute. All right, Washington, D.C., you've got the rain showers throughout the day, all the way through 11 o'clock tonight. It is going to be a wet ride for you as you make your way home from work. Here is a look at some of those ingredients causing the rainfall and the unsettled weather. Of course, the severe weather threat down along the Gulf Coast. That's where we have more of those ingredients involved with that surface cold front moving toward the east. But still, all that moisture is being pulled to the north. We're tapping the Atlantic, of course, throwing that moisture right over that colder air, by the way, in the northeast. So watch out. There could be some pockets of ice and snow. Portions of the Alleghenies right there, the Laurel Highlands in western Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Could be some airport delays as we get some rain by you along 95, and that area of low pressure will just continue to crank up the moisture as we go not just through today, but all the way into the overnight hours as well. Here is a look at the heavy rain that's affecting you in Nashville right now. A couple of lightning strikes showing up there. Southern portions of Illinois, western Kentucky also getting quite the soaking this morning, and we're also seeing some of that heavier rain right now across the outer banks of North Carolina. So as we put this into future mode, we are going to notice some of that rain creeping in from the south side of D.C., kind of overtaking us by about noontime. Pittsburgh, we're also looking a little bit wet by the time we get into your afternoon. There's a little bit of that burst of snow showing up where we have just enough cold air at the surface there in the western portions of New York and also Pennsylvania. But New York City, it's just going to be raindrops for you, just like we saw yesterday. And that rain will affect that ride out on the LIE eventually. And even toward the midnight hour, we're still going to be looking unsettled. Places like Binghamton picking up a little bit of slushy snow out there. All right, let's go coast to coast now and get you caught up with Tuesday's morning weather headlines. Not just snow, but wind, reducing that visibility. In fact, blizzard conditions have already been reported, according to the National Weather Service, in parts of North Dakota. Minot right now getting some very heavy snow. Last I checked your observation, you were down to a quarter-mile visibility. There's a look at where you do have the blizzard warning showing up in the pink, south of there around Mobridge and over towards, just south of Fargo. We've got those winter weather advisories in effect as well. Basically, this just means travel is going to be a little tough across this region. All right, right now, you've got a few flakes of snow coming down in Des Moines, but it's very, very light, 34 degrees. We're just below freezing in Chicago, but no moisture. So therefore, it is dry, just cloudy skies. And then you pick up some of the rainfall across the Ohio Valley, and that will be the case as we go through the remainder of today and look for that rain to get heavy at times. So Indianapolis affecting perhaps the tail end of your morning rush. Cincinnati also watching out for that chilly rain, 44 degrees. Chicago staying dry, a little windy in Minneapolis, and staying kind of cold. Temperatures not getting above the freezing mark. And coming up in just about 60 seconds, if the weather was a game of tag, most of us would be saying freeze. Who's in for a major? Well, We're going to start off with today's severe threat right along the southeast coast. There's your red on the map. Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, Hilton Head Island. These are areas that could have some wind damage, so definitely be prepared for that. Thunderstorms are still a possibility on your Wednesday in Miami. Otherwise, we're dry but cold across the upper Midwest. Look at Fargo, 14 on Thursday. Lake effect snow, that will get cranking as well as we head toward the end of the week. By Friday, we're only in the 20s for a high in Chicago, 39 degrees in New York City, and all the while we keep it pretty active along the west coast, which is great news for the drought areas of California. We still need the moisture. There's a look at your Saturday. We bring another system right through the middle of the country. Your blue, that is all the snow that's going to be taking place across the Great Lakes, but rain primarily from the Ohio Valley down toward the south. Well, the coldest air of the season is... Good Tuesday morning, 29 past the hour as AMHQ Early rolls on. I'm meteorologist Kelly Cass. We are still tracking storms along the southeast coast and still concerned about severe weather, including the possibility of tornadoes. We've got torcons of 3 in place for some. Track those cold temperatures as well as the opportunity for snow in some areas of the country as well, especially the northern tier. A lot of wind with that snow, by the way, in North Dakota, South Dakota. Blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories there. More snow pushing through the west as well. Wednesday, it's going to be a gorgeous day in Atlanta after getting some beneficial rainfall. We'll see highs near 60 degrees tomorrow. We'll see some colder air, though, from the teens to the 20s in the Dakotas on down towards Chicago with your high only at 24 degrees. We bring in some of that lake effect snow by the end of this work week across the Great Lakes into upstate New York and western Pennsylvania, all the while keeping it active on the west coast. Dry for the southeast, but chilly. There are your highs in Atlanta, not very high at all, 48 degrees, but then closer to average by the time we get to Sunday with another system working its way across the middle of the country. Well, still ahead here on AMHQ Early, we are tracking the rain for your drive time in the north.